We have now reached stage number 4. In this video, we will be discussing two crucial documents in the hiring process, the contract and the appointment letter. These documents play a vital role in establishing the terms and conditions of employment for successful candidates, just like you. And we will explore the key elements included in these documents and provide an overview of their significance. So let's get started. If you're looking for your appointment letter, you can locate your appointment letter in the next folder, following the earlier course. So this is an example of what an appointment letter looks like. The appointment letter is provided to applicants who have successfully passed Teleempire's interview process. It outlines crucial details, including the position they have applied for, the employment start date, and the duration of their probationary period. In this area, you will find the signature of our company president, which is Sir Eka Perwono. Your task here is to write your signature over the printed name, indicating that you acknowledge this appointment letter. Additionally, on the left side of your signature, please input the current date when you sign it. Now, let's move on to the contract part. An employment contract is a legally binding agreement between an employer and an employee that is used to define their working relationship. These contracts serve as a means to outline the employee's roles and responsibilities within the business, as well as their compensation and any benefits they are entitled to receive. Here, at Teleempire, our contract consists of 10 pages. Also, I will provide a brief overview of each section that you need to be aware of and sign. On the first page of the contract, you will come across the following sections. The first line indicates the day you started working at Teleempire. The second line displays the name of our company president. The remaining lines, as shown in the attached picture in this video, will show your name, nationality, and your current address. We have now reached section number 1, Employment. This section simply states your job position within the company. In this section, Annex 1 will provide you with a job summary that outlines your responsibilities in our company. Please note that this is necessary for you to sign all the papers in the contract. For instance, if there is no acknowledgement or signature line over the printed name, you should place your signature and a date in the lower left area of each paper. Section 2 will discuss the duration of your probationary period in Teleempire. For instance, if you start in the month of April, the probationary period will be 6 months and will end in October. Please be aware that your performance will be closely observed during this period. So it is important to perform well and receive a positive recommendation from your supervisor or manager. It is important to note that regular employees have more privilege than probationary employees, so it is crucial to fulfill your tasks and responsibilities effectively. From Section 2.1 to Section 3, the following topics will be discussed in the upcoming clips of this video. In part of the overtime pay, overtime will only be given if the manager approves it. If the overtime is not approved or if the manager is unaware of your overtime, it will not be counted towards your working hours. In this section, we will be discussing your compensation here at Teleempire. In this line, we will be indicating the compensation amount that your manager or supervisor agreed upon during your final interview. While reading this section, you will notice that there is an inclusive monthly allowance, which covers rice, clothing, and laundry. I will provide an example. Let's say your agreed salary is 14,000 pesos, which includes a monthly allowance. The allowance consists of 2,000 pesos for rice, 500 pesos for clothing, and 300 pesos for laundry. To calculate your basic pay, you need to subtract these allowances from your agreed salary. So subtracting 2,800 pesos from 14,000 pesos gives you a basic pay of 11,200 pesos. This 11,200 pesos will be your basic pay, which will serve as the basis for computing your 13th month pay. It is also the basis for calculating deduction for SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig monthly contributions. The computation remains the same for a higher salary offer. Please take note that our salary is paid on the 5th and 28th of each month. For the 5th, the salary is calculated for the period from the 16th to the 30th. On the other hand, for the 28th, the salary is calculated for the period from the 1st to the 15th. In section number 5, this will be discussed in Annex number 3. In section number 6, the employer has the right to make changes to your designation or modify your duties if necessary. In section number 7, unless you have obtained consent from the company, you are not permitted to accept any other employment with another employer. In section number 8, solely address the confidentiality of this contract, meaning you are not allowed to share this information about the contract on any social media platform or disclose it to anyone else. In section number 9, we will discuss that even if you have already signed this contract, it can still be terminated by your employer, which is possible under the following 5 grounds. First, the employee is incapable of performing their job duties for 6 months or more due to illness, as certified by a licensed physician. Second, the employee has violated any terms or conditions stated in this contract. Third, the employee has violated any government laws. Fourth, there are reasonable grounds to believe that the employee has committed a violation. And fifth, any authorized cases where the employee violates any labor codes of the Philippines. In section number 10, the employee also has the right to terminate their contract. The employee simply needs to send a written notice to their manager 30 days prior to the effective date of the termination. In sections 11 to 13, this is served to strengthen the validity of the contract provisions. In the final part of these sections, you are required to sign your signature above your printed name and include the date. Once you have signed this section, it is important to ensure that you have sufficient understanding of the content of this contract. In this part, it will simply display the ID you have submitted for notary purposes. We are now in Annex number 2. This section will display your work schedule in the company, including your day off, working hours, and effective date. You are also required to sign your signature above your printed name, along with the date. We are now in Annex number 3, which covers the benefits and privilege of an employee. During your probationary period, you are entitled to a meal provision. As a stay-out employee, you will receive an 80 pesos meal allowance for each day you are present in the company. This allowance will be given to you on your salary day. Additionally, Teleempire provides shuttle services. This means we have a shuttle service available from our pick-up point, which is located at Stop and Shop. Lastly, regarding uniforms, you are entitled to receive one or more depending on your job position in the company on your first day of employment with us. Next, let's discuss the benefits and privilege of a regular employee. First, a regular employee is entitled to the company's annual physical examination. The company ensures that all employees have their health monitored while working in the company. Secondly, regular employees are entitled to a service incentive leave. Upon regularization, employees are granted 10 days of paid leave. For each year of service, an employee earns 1 additional day of paid leave. The maximum number of paid leaves days an employee can accumulate is 15 days. Leave applications should be filed at least 5 days in advance of the desired leave start date. with a maximum of 6 consecutive days per application. Longer leaves will require a longer notice period. If an employee does not utilize their paid leaves, a maximum of 5 days can be converted to cash at the end of the calendar year on a pro rata basis. For example, let's say you have already become a regular employee and have used 3 days of paid leave during your tenure with the company. However, if you decide to resign on your ninth month, those 3 days of paid leave will be deducted from your final pay because you have not completed 1 year of service in the company. It's important to note that as an employee, you must earn and accumulate your leave. Thirdly, regular employees who have been with the company for at least 1 year are entitled to 2 days of wedding leave, which can be used either before or after their wedding date. This benefit is exclusively for the employee's first wedding and cannot be converted into cash. Fourthly, compassionate leave is provided to all employees. In the unfortunate event of the sudden death of first-degree relatives, employees are granted 3 days of paid leave. First-degree relatives include parents, spouse, or current live-in partner, and the employee's own child. This leave benefit cannot be converted into cash if not availed by the employee. Fifth and lastly, regular employees have the option to file for a salary loan or cash advance. The maximum amount that can be requested for a salary loan is equivalent to 1 month's salary. It's important to note that this salary loan does not include any interest. And finally, one of the benefits and privilege we have are government-mandated benefits. For SSS, Pag-ibig, and PhilHealth, here is a list of the numerous benefits that Teleempire can process while you are employed with our company. In the closing note, to keep it concise, all government benefits can be provided if all your documents are readily available for easy compliance. Additionally, it is the responsibility of each employee to stay informed about the yearly changes in the basis of granting these benefits and how these changes can affect their personal filing. After that, please sign your signature over your printed name in the designated area on the right and indicate the date when you sign this document. We have now completed the signing of your appointment letter and contract. We only have a few videos left before we finish this orientation. Please note that if you have any questions, feel free to message us on our HR Telegram channel. Also, please double check your contract to ensure that you have signed all the necessary pages.